The Directing Two project is the culmination of work done by directing students, but it's a class. They have a great deal of work that they have to do coming into the projects. And then the semester is spent working on the material that they have done in terms of what we call prep work. It's basically starting a company, right? You have an idea, you look for the idea, you facilitate it, you do all the work in order to get it into motion, you do all the planning, then you implement it, then you launch it, and then you close it down. So it's pretty intense.
Please tell me.
Students are given criteria in which they had to adhere to. And then they are responsible for reading plays and finding material that they think will work. So the criteria for this round was they had to run about 50 to 55 minutes. There had to be 2 characters in the play, and they had to have minimalistic settings.
I chose 448 Psychosis by Sarah Kane. The reason I chose it is because it's a really brutally honest portrayal of mental health. And I feel like mental health is really stigmatized. So my goal was to try and destigmatize it so that we can create conversation about mental health.
But you have friends. You have a lot of friends.
So it's actually a really interesting play. There's no lines divided up into characters, and there's seemingly no plot. There's literally just text on a page. So it was my job then to pick how many actors I wanted, divide up the lines, do all that work. And the play is it's a really deep look into suicide, depression, the mental health care system. So the text just explores all those themes, and it was my job to find the story in that.
I shall hang myself to the sound of my lover's breathing. I do not want to die.
And I think because the pandemic and loneliness and, those themes have been running through our culture so strongly, that those and love and the idea of people being together, I think that that's why you're also seeing those connections, possibly because the directors are responding to what's happening in our lives. And in essence, that's what theater does. It just puts up a little mirror. So I think that they did a really fine job, in articulating that in their own ways.
So as soon as he said that he was doing this piece, I was like, oh, like, this is a super interesting play. Like, I think I was like looking for monologues or something, and I stumbled upon it. And so when I found out he was doing it, I was like, it's like super beautifully written. And even though it's like so dark and intense, like the message to get across is just super important to people. And also like, it's just like a really big challenge, like acting wise. I knew that it would like help me expand like my range and just really like become more evolved as an actor.
Slash, ring, punch, burn, flicker, dab, float, dab, flicker, burn, punch, burn, flash, dab, press.